Hi, my friends. Today I want to present you a new story. Enjoy watching it.
They always saw her first. At every family gathering, every birthday, every lazy Sunday brunch, the air would shift the moment Lexi arrived. Her laugh, a touch too loud, would echo through the hall like a brass bell. People would look up, smile wider, lean in. And me? I became part of the wallpaper again, the reliable shadow. She wore red that day, always red, like a warning sign no one dared to ignore. I sat across from her at the table, stirring my coffee in silence while she waved her perfectly manicured fingers, recounting a story about almost launching a skincare line in Bali. "You wouldn't believe the supplier drama," she said, dramatically rolling her eyes. "The jars were the wrong shade of gold. Can you imagine?" Mother clucked sympathetically. Father chuckled like he knew what that meant. I bit into a dry croissant and said nothing. "I've just applied to this new company," Lexa continued, leaning back like a queen. "HB Technologies. Ever heard of it?" I froze mid-sip. The name struck the table like a lightning bolt no one else noticed. "It's the one in AI and systems automation, right?" Dad offered. "Exactly. It's worth, like 90 million or something." She paused. "Can you believe that someone so smart is at the helm of the company and never shows their face? It's a complete mystery." I smiled faintly. Nicholas and I had decided that 10 years ago, I would build from the shadows, design every protocol, vet every line of code, but let him face the cameras. My name was never mentioned, and that suited me just fine. "Helen, maybe you know someone there? Have you heard of this company?" Lexi asked with that fake sweetness, lips tilted in amusement. "Wait, of course not. You work from home, doing spreadsheets or whatever." Mother laughed politely. My fork tapped the plate by accident. I met Lexi's eyes and said nothing. Let her mock. Let her enter my world without even knowing she stepped into the center of my web. Later that evening, I opened her application from my remote server. There it was, Alexandra Blake, polished CV, flowery cover letter, and one glowing reference from a short-lived PR gig. I could almost hear her typing it, the clatter of ambition. I approved it. A week later, she was hired as a junior communications analyst. She wouldn't see me in the sleek office halls. I worked remotely and used a private elevator when I visited, but I would see her. Every login, every report, every snide Slack message she didn't think the invisible exec would read. She didn't know I was watching. Not yet. But she would. She wore white on the 5th day. Ironic, given how much dirt she'd thrown on my name over the years. I watched her on the security feed from my private home office, coffee in hand. Lexa stood at the reception desk, flipping her hair as she smiled at the assistant. I could almost hear her. "I'm Alexandra Blake, new comms hire. You've probably heard of me." She hadn't changed. Through mirrored glass and firewalls, I tracked her digital trail. Her current email had arrived 10 minutes ago. I watched her open it, skim the onboarding guide, and there it was, the internal NDA. Paragraph 6, Clause 4. The proprietary systems designed and patented by HB. Lexi frowned at her screen. She clicked again. In the legal section. Operations overseen by HB, Executive Director. Her name didn't twitch, but her eyes did. Moments later, she messaged her new manager. Lexi B. "Hey, quick Q, who's HB? Names all over the contracts." Manager, "She's one of the founding execs. Doesn't come in often. Super low profile." Lexa didn't reply. She didn't know that HB, her sister she barely tolerated through childhood, the girl she once locked out of their shared room for being too boring, was the same Helen Blake who now approved every hire, every budget, every strategy memo, including hers. 2 hours later, I received a forwarded Slack exchange. Lexa had commented in a team channel. Lexi B. "Can't wait to meet this HB. Must be a genius if she doesn't even show up." I stared at the screen. "Too late for that," I murmured. I toggled to our internal development platform and marked Lexi's name under high priority staff. Monitor behavior. Nicholas called later that evening. "You sure you want her inside the system, Helen? She's a wild card." "That's the point," I said. "Let's see how she behaves in my world without knowing it's mine." He sighed. "You always were the quiet strategist. And she always underestimated me." I leaned back, eyes fixed on her digital footprint, tiny, clueless, electric. She had walked into the lion's den. and the lion was smiling. The first glitch came on Lexi's 7th day. It was small, barely a flicker in the company-wide comms tool. A document went missing mid-presentation, replaced by a line of code I'd written years ago. System integrity begins with silence. Lexa was presenting. Her voice, confident and performative, cut out mid-sentence. A blank screen stared back at a dozen new colleagues. For a beat, there was only awkward silence. "I don't know what happened," she stammered, clicking frantically. The project manager leaned forward. "We'll investigate. Probably a sync issue." But it wasn't. It was me. I had programmed the phrase as a ghost marker, a signature only I could trace. And now I was watching. Later that night, Nicola's message. "Nicholas, you left a breadcrumb." Me, "She won't understand it." Nicholas, "Yet." By Friday, Lexa had made her presence known. She'd already asked for a promotion track, cornered our CFO in the break room, and suggested a complete rebrand of the marketing campaign, one I designed. I approved none of it. Instead, I sent a single message to her manager. "Helen Evans, closely monitor Alexandra's initiative. No escalations approved." He replied, "Understood. She's energetic." That evening, I checked the system again. Lexa had tried to open a restricted dashboard labeled EE Alpha Protocols. Access denied. She tried 3 times. She was digging. The system flagged it, sent an automatic ping to my phone. I smiled. My code, my creation, was watching her like a hawk, and in the shadows of her ambition, I whispered through firewalls and encrypted echoes. "You won't find me." Not yet. The lion hadn't moved, but its eyes were wide open. Friday, 9:12 a.m., the office buzzed as usual. Coffee machines hissed, keyboards clacked, and shoes tapped the polished floors of HB Technologies. Lexa shouldn't have been on the 6th floor. Her badge wasn't cleared for it. But I had already seen the override attempt she sent to it the night before, disguised as an urgent cross-departmental briefing request. She was cleverer than I'd given her credit for. Through the internal cameras, camouflaged and unmarked, I watched her step out of the elevator and into the hall with the matte black door. Access. Level 0+, where only 4 people in the company were permitted, including me. She paused. Her heels clicked once, then stopped. She stared at the keypad. The quiet corridor hummed faintly with cold servers behind reinforced walls. She randomly typed in some date. 2-02-0. The keypad blinked red. Denied. Behind my monitor, I stopped breathing. She was guessing. But how close was she? A voice cut through the hallway. "Excuse me, that area is restricted," came a firm tone. "Nicholas." Lexa turned, startled but poised. "Oh, I got turned around. Just exploring." Nicholas didn't smile. "Exploring into level 0? She straightened her back. "I just want to understand where the real decisions are made." He didn't respond. He just held out his hand. "Come, you're not authorized here." As he led her back to the elevator, she glanced at the door one last time. Nicholas looked right into the hallway camera after she entered the lift. He knew I was watching. Later that evening, my phone buzzed. A private message from Nicholas. "Nicholas, she's coming for it." Me. "Let her knock. The door won't open." Nicholas. "And if it does?" Me. "Then she'll learn who really built this house." I minimized the message and stared into the screen's reflection. My face was calm. My fingers steady. The corridor was locked. But the chase had begun. Monday came with rain, soft, persistent, and oddly appropriate. Lexa strode into the main conference room where Nicholas had called an urgent leadership alignment meeting. Her hair was perfectly styled. Her blazer, crisp. She had no idea what was coming. I was already there, sitting at the head of the table. She froze. "You?" Her voice cracked slightly. "Yes," I said, closing my laptop. "I'm Helen, co-founder, silent partner, and the woman who approved your underwhelming resume." A few gasps escaped the room. Nicholas leaned back in his chair, folding his arms with a smirk. "Told you she preferred the shadows." Lexi blinked rapidly. "You run this company." "I built it," I corrected calmly, "while you laughed at me for not having a real job." Her face shifted, shock to disbelief, then slowly to something bitter and bruised. "You let me embarrass myself." No, I said, standing. You did that all on your own. Silence thudded between us. For once, Lexa didn't have a comeback. I walked to the glass wall and looked out over the skyline. You always wanted the spotlight, Lexi. I never did. But don't mistake quiet for small. Some of us build empires while no one's watching. I turned to her, my voice final. You work here now, under my leadership, or you walk away. No, Helen, I want to stay. I understand a lot now, and I want to earn your trust and your forgiveness, Lexa said, lowering her eyes. The meeting ended with applause, but not for her. And as I stepped into the hallway, the storm broke outside, washing the glass with rain. At last, the shadow had stepped into the light.
Friends, what do you think of this story? Write your opinion in the comments. Would you like more stories? Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so you don't miss any videos. See you tomorrow.